What's up guys, it's Paraly5er here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get 100% completion on your report card in Grounded. This is the final video in a long list that I've been making, which is going to show you everything you need to 100% the game once and for all and get a super win unlocking the 100% achievement for the game. Before we get started, it is worth mentioning that you do need to be on either mild, medium, or low if you're specifically going for the achievement for getting 100%. You can't do this on a custom world because you can't unlock achievements on custom worlds. If you're just doing it for the fun of it and you just want to see the 100% scorecard, go for it, do it on a custom world, it'll work perfectly fine. You just won't get the game achievement on Steam or on Xbox. There are a bunch of requirements, you're going to need every single one of these. Listen closely to what I say as it's very, very specific what you have to do. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. The first requirement you will need in order to 100% Grounded is buying everything from the ASL shop. Now this means when you go in the ASL and you go to the shop, you've purchased everything in here. This does not include the exclusive sign sets and other exclusives from different months. For example, you don't need to buy the firework launcher, which can only be unlocked in January. You don't need to get the sign set, which is only available in April. Those do not need to be unlocked. Everything else in the shop, though, does need to be unlocked. If you are in New Game Plus, you do need to have unlocked everything in the shop, including the new recipes that will unlock, like the yoking station, for example. Whatever is available to unlock in the New Game Plus that you're in, you need to unlock it all. Now, this does require a lot of raw science. If you're in New Game Plus, obviously, you can kill infused creatures to get this. If you're not in New Game Plus, the best way is to do some burgle quests or to do some waft emitter raids with Black Widows. One singular Black Widow Fang will spawn in one Widow in a waft emitter raid. Killing this single Widow will give you 1,000 raw science. You can repeat this until you have enough science to purchase everything from the shop. Obviously, it goes without saying, to unlock everything in the shop in the first place, you have to have collected all of the burgle chips. This means the supers and the regular chips to be able to purchase everything from the shop to begin with. The next thing that you will need in order to 100% the game is all of the creature cards. If you need to see what these are, they're in my all data video at the very start. You do not need the baby ant creature cards, which are obtained from befriending the ant queens. You also do not need the infected ants or the infected soldier ants or the infected ant queen, as these can only be obtained in New Game Plus, which you just don't need them to 100% the game. The next thing you need follows on from the creature cards. It's all data items. In order to get this, I have a video that I will link at the top of the screen right now. It shows you how to get every single data item in the current version of the game. I only made it a couple weeks ago, so it's brand new, has every location you could possibly need. You need every single one of them in that video. If you don't have them all, the prompt will say something like, you need to find more data items to get 100%. If that's your prompt, you need to follow that video because you're missing something from that video. Next, you're going to need all landmarks discovered. Again, I recently made a video displaying where all of the landmarks and wonders are in the backyard. So if you're looking for those, then I'll link the video at the top of the screen right now. This just means you need to fill out every single location in these sections. And once you do, you'll have discovered all of them and you can move on from this section. You will also need all milk and mega milk molars. There's 78 milks, there's 45 megas. I have a video with each of them with all locations in. So again, if you need milk or mega milk molars, you can check those out. Once you have them all, you will be able to purchase every single unlock. So you'll be able to max out every stat in every section of the milk and mega milk molars if you have them all. If you are in New Game Plus, then all of the megas will not respawn, so you'll already either have them all or you'll need to collect the remaining few. And with the milks, you need to collect the ones that are in your current New Game Plus. It doesn't matter if you've missed a few in the past New Game Pluses, the current New Game Plus that you're in, you will need to go around the yard and collect every molar until you've maxed out every stat in your current New Game Plus. That's the important thing. The next thing you will need to do is beat all of the MIX.Rs. Now, once again, if you've gone to New Game Plus 3, you need to beat all of the MIX.Rs while you are in New Game Plus 3, and then go and hit the final button while still being in New Game Plus 3. If you beat them prior to New Game Plus, and then you went into a couple New Game Plus iterations, you can't just go hit the button. It doesn't count. You have to beat them in the same iteration of New Game Plus that you plan on 100%ing the game, which is why I would personally 100% before even entering New Game Plus if I was doing it. If you're having trouble beating any of the mixers, I have a video linked at the top of the screen that will show you how to do it. I didn't do these in New Game Plus, however, I did them prior to New Game Plus, as I said, this is the best time to 100% the game. The next thing you'll need is all scabby flavor schemes. Getting these is pretty simple. You just look at a video that shows you where they all are and go and collect them. They don't respawn in New Game Plus. There's no additional ones added on. There's no exceptions. Just follow the video that I'll link at the top of the screen. It shows you all 51 locations. There's 55 scabbies total, but you start with 4 when you spawn into the world, so you only need to pick up 51 of them. Once you have them all, boom, that objective's ticked off. The next thing you will need is the maximum level of brain power. Now, this does not mean you need to analyze every single item in the game. It means that you need to get to level 16 of brain power. You don't need to max it out at like 3,000 brain power or whatever. You just need to analyze enough items to get to the highest possible level, which is level 16, which takes about 2,200 brain power in order to reach this level. This is very easy to get, especially if you defeated a lot of the bosses in the game, because they will drop parts that have purple exclamations, and analyzing these will give huge amounts of brain power towards that level 16 goal. This is a very easy one to get just by analyzing all of the items you find. Next up, we have to talk about bosses. Now, in order to get 100%, you're going to need to defeat every boss in the game. These ones in particular, though, count specifically for the scorecard. Some of the bosses don't actually count for the scorecard, but you need to beat them anyways to beat the story of the game. But the ones that do count for the scorecard are first and foremost the Hedge Broodmother. You will need to beat this boss if you want to 100% the game. It's a pretty easy boss. It's one of the first bosses you should be fighting realistically. Moving on, you also have to beat the Mantis. This is one that follows right on from the Broodmother. Slightly more difficult, however, it is a lot easier now that you can parry the Scream attacks, which was a recent change. After you've beaten those two, you also want to beat the Wasp Queen. You'll need to do that if you want 100% the game. Slightly more difficult boss, but definitely very doable nonetheless. You will also need to beat Director Schmechter. You need to do this anyways to get the good ending, but you need the good ending for 100%, which means you need to defeat Schmechter in order to 100% the game. And finally, the last boss you need to beat for 100% is the Infected Broodmother, possibly the hardest boss in the game. Very difficult enemy, will take you a lot of practice, but it is absolutely worth it, and you will need to defeat this one in order to get that 100%. To finish up, I just want to clear up a few myths and rumors of things that you need that you don't actually need in order to get 100%. The first one is gold cards. Doesn't matter if you have one gold card or every gold card, you can still get 100%. You don't need them at all. Same with mutations. Doesn't matter if you have every mutation unlocked and maxed out or 2 mutations unlocked. You can still get 100% with however many mutations. It does not count at all. It used to at one point, but it doesn't anymore. The other thing is the raw science pickups across the yard. You don't need to have picked up every piece of raw science that there is in existence. You don't need to have scanned every item in the game. You do need level 16 brain power, but you don't need to scan every single item possible that can be scanned. You also don't need to pick up or scan or discover the rotten items. Same goes for trinkets. You don't need to collect every single trinket. Just isn't a thing that you need. As long as you've got all the data pieces, then you don't need to go around trying to get the mint trinket or the crow trinket. They're completely unimportant and you don't need them for 100%. And finally, it doesn't matter what you do with the Ant Queens, whether you befriend them or kill them prior to New Game Plus or in New Game Plus. Whatever you do with them, it's not going to affect whether you can 100% the game or not. You can do any of the options and you'll be completely fine. That was absolutely everything you need to 100% grounded. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like on it. It's been a long time in the making with a bunch of videos leading up to it so that I can make this final video with videos linked for everything that you could possibly need. I will see you in the next grounded video. Have a great rest of your day.